Hello viewers, you are welcome once more to my channel. This video is a part 2 of the video I had earlier on uploaded that has to do with worries. And this part 2, which I call dealing with worries. So in this video we want to look at how we can deal with worries, because many people worry. It's what we live with day and night. So it's important that we look at them. It's going to help you in your mental health to achieve good mental health condition. So what do we mean by worry? It is a state of one being anxious or troubled over an issue. It's an issue that is an actual issue or potential one, or even imagined problem. Whether it's a problem, an issue or problem, you get worried about that. So that has to do with worry. Start to think of what do you do. You are not your mind is not at rest. You lose the peace of the mind. So there are many situations that cause people to worry. Some people worry, or many people worry when issues are uncertain. You don't know what will be an outcome of an event. So you worry about that something may go wrong. Maybe somebody is traveling or so, and then you are worried, what of something may go wrong on the way. That explains why you may have to worry, in that something unpleasant may happen. Also, people worry over challenges. Maybe you may have challenge of paying school fees, challenge of paying your bills, or organizing one ceremony or the other, maybe marriage ceremony, and one event or the other. Especially, you worry when you don't have the resources, the necessary resources to meet that need. It keeps you thinking, it keeps you worrying. Where do I raise the funds? How do I manage the event? Where do I get help to assist me to execute such a project? So that is another issue that leads one to worry. A situation that is threatening could also cause us to worry, or a threat itself could cause you to worry. Assuming now where you are living in the neighborhood that armed robbers are operating, or terrorists, you may get worried about the safety of your life, that of your properties, that of your family. So you just get worried about these issues. So worry is there with us. And then what do we do? I would say that the life itself is full of demands, pressures, and challenges. And this put worries in us. In fact, we live with worries. So since we live with worries, it's important that we have to have the skills to be able to handle worries in our lives. Coping skills. You may need coping skills on how to cope with the situation ahead, or even problem solving skills, which could help you to solve such problems. Well, worry is related to anxiety, in that when there is something that is uncertain, one may be anxious, and that your being anxious will cause you to start to worry about such a situation. So you see, somebody that is worried always tends to be anxious, and the anxiety sets in. So what do we do? In case of uncertainty or fear of failure, something that can bring pain onto you, losses or disappointment, can make you to get worried and make you anxious. So you see, somebody that is worried is not far away from being anxious, and it could lead to anxiety. Right, so let's see how we can deal with worries. Now, I want to say that there are two ways we can deal with worries. One is the positive side, then the other one is on the negative side. One concerning the positive, that's how to actually handle worries. The first one I would say is that You have to learn to convert your stumbling block into stepping stone. That thing that is an obstacle in your life, you can convert it to a stepping stone whereby you can reach higher and grab something that is higher. Ordinary, literally, assuming one is walking in a place, moving along the road, and you didn't see an object there, and you hit your leg on it, you are likely to stumble and fall. But that object, that stone or block, could be also what you could step on to jump up and pluck something that is high. So based on that, something that one may consider as worry in one side could also be something one can explore to its advantage and in achieving something that is better. So the next point is that worry, I say, being positive can cause you or induce you or push you forward to do something about the situation. You don't just sit somewhere and be worrying. What do I do? What of this? What of this? And then you have a lot of negative things going into your mind. But if you handle worry at the positive side, you look at it. What do I do? How do I handle this? This could make you to seek for assistance from some experts. Take steps that will help you. Look for strategies that could help. So when you start taking such steps, you find out that whatever is the problem, when eventually arises, you must have put things on ground, set some things on ground to handle the situation so that it will not be as disastrous as it could have been. Or even such, you would have developed a sort of a shock absorber to be able to absorb such so that it will not constitute great calamity in your life or will bring forth great damage onto you. And then the other point I want to say is that you have to be optimistic. Discourage yourself from being negative concerning issues. Be optimistic that it will get better, things will get better, and look at the bright side of life, and you'll be able to overcome. So then, looking at it from the negative side, which I will discourage us, and if it's coming on to you, please try to step it down, look for help. For example, one could stay when you don't do something about worries. You find out that you stay and imagine a lot of negative things that will happen to you. What of if this building collapses on me? What of if I'm set out of my job? What of if this business does not go well? And then you start to think of many things that will happen. You won't be able to eat food. What of your children will come back? You won't be able to pay their school fees. You start to imagine and imagine and imagine. It is not just the issue of imagining things that will happen to you. Rather, we should be positive as to taking a step forward. What are we going to do to handle such situation so that it will not be disastrous unto us? So, but then if you leave yourself like that and you allow worries to start to eat in, you find out that first you will become, you start to have sleepless nights because over the nights you worry and worry and worry. You have sleeplessness sets in, and it could cause a lot of harm unto you because throughout the night you are throughout the night you are not sleeping, you are not having rest. That could lead also depression could come in. You are depressed, you feel bad, and some people even to get to the extent because of the depression, they start thinking of a way out of it. Maybe to let me just end up all this, and they start to consider suicide as an option. Suicidal tendencies start to come in. These are what worries could do. Others could resort to flight to get out of the situation, either the physical situation and go to some other place, or psychologically they want to get out of that. Some resort to drug taking, get into drug abuse, just so that for a brief time such stimulants will remove the unpleasant pressure of worries in their life, and they will forget about these worries for some time. But by the time the drug goes out, these things will come back. He will come back into reality and still meet his problems. So getting into alcoholism, getting into drug taking or drug abuse is not a way out. It can only get you into further problems. And when you get involved in such, it eventually affects your family. A man that becomes an alcoholic, a drug addict, he will go back to his family and create a lot of problems there. And since the family becomes problematic, eventually the thing also extends to the society. For example, we know that these drug addicts find it easier. They are liable. They are prone to joining some bad gangs within the society, some criminal gangs, so as to be able to make some money, either rob people and be able to get money to continue in their drug taking. So that is not a positive way. Drug abuse is not a positive way to handle your problems. So what do we do? I want to state 10 points here that can help us in handling worries. First of all, it's important that you understand the problem and acknowledge it. A problem that is acknowledged or understood is already half solved. So what is that thing that is causing you to get worried? You need to understand it. And number 2 is that you seek solution or assistance from experts. Experts could also, like professional counselors, psychiatrists, or experts in such a field where you have such problems, could assist you working together with them, pin down on the problem. And then when you pin down on the problem, you start to work on the solution. How do we get about that? This will help you to look at various alternatives. Like if it's a counselor, you consider various alternatives that could be effective. Then you need a caring community. A caring community could also be of assistance to help you overcome the problem of worries. So such a caring group will also assist you. Then after looking at various strategies, the 4th point is that you employ strategies. You look at various alternatives and then you employ strategies. Possibly whoever is helping you, the counselor also could help, and then you employ strategies to handle this thing, strategies to overcome that. Then the 5th point, I said that you be optimistic. Look at the bright side of life, the bright side of issues. Don't be negative. There is a lot will happen to people when they see things from the negative side. So don't look at things from the bright side, bright side of life. Be optimistic and march forward. Then the 6th point, never lose hope. Never you lose hope. Hope is something that could make us keep going. Don't think of losing hope. Don't say that your own is finished. When one despairs and say, oh, my own is finished, then the person starts to die. So I want to say that time is important. Time can always heal a situation. Time can always change situation. And it is only those who are alive that will reap the goodness of it when time has turned to bring things better. But if you follow worries and die off, your own is gone. So never you lose hope. Then number 7 point, I say, believe it shall be well with you. It's just a question of time. Just believe, and things will get sorted out. Believe in that. Then the 8th point, which I want to encourage us here, is to occupy yourself with some other things that can lift you up. For example, you occupy yourself with exercise. You can go out for exercise. Maybe go out and play football or do some other exercise, indoor or outdoor, that could lighten you, make you feel free, instead of staying in one place and be thinking of over your worries. Also, engage in something interesting unto you, like reading books, novels. Can engage some reading books, even watching films or going for drama. And you can also go out with your friends onto places of interest that can lighten your mood. That is the 8th point. Then the 9th point I want to say is draw from spiritual strength. Like a pastoral counselor, we bring in spiritual resources onto psychotherapy in helping people. For example, reading, like the Christians, reading of your scripture, the Bible, You can draw spiritual strength from there and encouragement. Others could read holy books of their religion. They are relevant places that could encourage the person to have hope, encourage the person and bring him out of worries. And God is there to help. The issue is that when when you read, you can always get certain words or certain messages from there that will build you up in hope and grant you spiritual strength and encouragement. Then the third one is convert your worries into prayer points. Pray. God is there. God is there to assist you, to help you. So don't just stay and just be thinking like that. Why not pray? I usually tell people in my counseling setup, instead of spending the whole night worrying over issues, and then you wake up in the morning shattered, it's better if you must have sleepless night. It's better you have it praying for that point, praying to God over those points throughout the night. Keep a night vision instead of worrying over it. And then when you are talking to God, hope comes in. Good expectation comes in. Because you are now resorting to the divine to assist you. So you start building hope onto the divine to assist you. And you start building as you get encouragement, the expectation comes in. God is going to help, He's going to handle your problem. And you know what? God is not just imagination of our heart. He's a being that is active. He's a supreme being. He's active and he's acting. So God can also enter into your situation and help you out. So I want to encourage you on this issue of worries. Don't allow worries to take you over. God can help you in every situation. If you are just watching this video for the first time, I want to encourage you to support our program by clicking at the subscribe button below. And also when you do that, click also on the notification button so that whenever we upload another video, you'll be notified. I want to thank you very much for watching. Try to put these things in place. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, goodbye, and God bless you. Thank you.